All right, everybody, let's talk sleep.
Yeah,
I know you out there are interested in getting a better night's sleep,
absolutely.
and we're diving deep into the world of sleep hygiene to help you do just that.
Yes, we are.
We've got 10 science-backed tips ready to go,
We do,
and we're going to pull out the most interesting and useful bits for you.
for sure. So what's fascinating about sleep
Okay.
is that most people only think about how long they sleep,
Okay.
but the quality of your sleep is just as important.
Interesting.
Waking up feeling refreshed and ready to go is the goal here.
Exactly, and that's where these 10 tips come in.
Yeah.
They cover everything from setting a sleep schedule
Right.
to taming that pesky blue light.
And all about working with your body's natural sleep-wake cycle,
Oh.
also known as your circadian rhythm.
Yeah, circadian rhythm.
It's like an internal clock that regulates your sleep patterns.
Okay, so our first stop on this sleep quest
Right.
is establishing a consistent sleep schedule. That means hitting the hay and waking up around the same time each day,
Okay.
even on weekends.
Even on weekends.
I know weekends were made for sleeping in, but hear me out.
Think of your circadian rhythm like a finely tuned instrument.
Oh, okay.
When you stick to a regular sleep schedule, you're essentially keeping that instrument in tune,
Yeah.
allowing it to function optimally.
Okay.
But when you throw it off by sleeping in on weekends,
Uh-huh.
it's like banging on the keys,
Oh, no.
creating dissonance
Yeah,
and throwing your sleep out of whack.
that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It's like my own body is playing a sleep symphony,
Oh.
and I've been the conductor leading it astray.
Right.
No wonder Monday mornings feel like a chaotic orchestra pit.
I can only imagine.
But what about those nights when my mind just won't quiet down?
That's where tip number 2 comes in.
Okay.
Building a relaxing pre-sleep ritual.
A pre-sleep ritual.
What does your evening routine look like right now?
Well, usually it involves a lot of screen time. Checking emails, scrolling through social media,
Huh?
maybe catching up on a show.
Okay.
But I'm sensing that's not exactly conducive to a restful night.
You're catching on quickly.
I am.
The blue light emitted from our devices
Okay.
suppresses melatonin,
Melatonin.
a hormone crucial for regulating sleep.
So even if you feel tired,
Yeah,
your brain is still getting that stay awake signal from your screen.
that's right.
So what's a better way to wind down?
Okay.
Do I need to start a pre-sleep interpretive dance routine?
It doesn't have to be that elaborate.
Wow.
Simple activities like taking a warm bath,
Okay.
reading a physical book,
Okay.
listening to calming music,
Yeah.
or practicing gentle stretches can help signal to your body that it's time to transition to sleep.
Okay. Ditching the screens and creating a calming routine sounds doable.
Yeah.
But what about my sleep environment?
Okay.
Does it really matter if my room is a bit cluttered
It can.
or if I have a nightlight?
Absolutely. Tip number 4 is all about crafting the ideal sleep sanctuary.
Sleep sanctuary.
We're talking cool, dark, and quiet.
Wow.
Think of it as your personal sleep cave,
A sleep cave. I like that.
designed for maximum rest and rejuvenation.
So no more nightlight for me then.
Darkness is key for melatonin production.
Hmm.
Even a small amount of light can disrupt your sleep cycle.
Hmm.
And as for the clutter, a tidy and organized space
Yeah.
can help create a sense of calm,
Okay.
promoting relaxation and better sleep.
I think I've been underestimating the power of my surroundings.
It happens?
A cluttered room equals a cluttered mind, maybe.
Maybe.
But speaking of things that might be disrupting my sleep,
Uh-huh.
how about those afternoon naps?
Okay.
Sometimes I can't resist a quick snooze on the couch.
Napping can be beneficial,
Okay.
but timing is crucial.
Timing.
Tip number 3 tackles this head-on. Long or late afternoon naps can disrupt your nighttime sleep
Really?
by throwing off your circadian rhythm.
So it's all about strategic napping then.
Ex-
I guess those 3-hour weekend naps are off the table.
I would say so.
All right, I'm starting to see the connections here.
Good.
It's like a sleep puzzle.
Uh-huh.
And each of these tips is a piece that fits together to create a full picture of restful sleep.
I like that.
Speaking of which, let's move on to another piece of the puzzle.
Okay.
Exercise.
Exercise.
I know working out is good for me,
Absolutely.
but does it affect my sleep too?
You bet it does.
It.
Regular exercise can significantly improve your sleep quality.
Wow.
But as with napping, timing is everything.
So no late night gym sessions then?
That's right. Tip number 6 is about getting regular exercise,
Yeah.
but avoiding intense workouts close to bedtime.
Oh, okay.
Aim for earlier in the day or at least 3 hours before you plan to hit the pillow.
Maybe a morning workout routine would be the way to go.
Could be.
Start the day with an energy boost
Uh-huh.
and avoid those sleep disrupting evening workouts.
Right.
It all ties back to that consistent schedule we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, precisely. And speaking of things that can affect your sleep, let's move on to tip number 5.
Okay.
Being mindful of what you eat and drink,
Food.
especially close to bedtime.
All right, I have a feeling this is where my late-night snacking habit comes under fire.
You're not alone.
Oh, no.
Many people underestimate the impact of food and drink on their sleep.
Really?
Avoiding large meals,
Okay.
caffeine and alcohol before bed
Right.
can make a big difference.
Wait, even chocolate?
Unfortunately, yes, even chocolate contains caffeine, which can interfere with sleep.
Oh, man.
And while alcohol might initially make you feel sleepy,
Yeah, it does?
it actually disrupts your sleep cycles later in the night, preventing you from getting that deep restorative sleep you need.
This is all starting to connect now.
Yeah,
A healthy diet and mindful consumption patterns are crucial,
they are.
not just for our waistlines,
Right.
but also for our sleep.
Absolutely.
But let's be honest.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not just our physical habits that keep us up at night. Our mental and emotional state can play a huge role too.
Absolutely. In today's fast-paced world, stress and anxiety are practically unavoidable.
Oh, yeah.
But learning to manage these feelings, especially before bed, is key for getting a good night's sleep.
So how do we tame those racing thoughts?
Okay.
Do we need to become Zen masters overnight?
Not at all. Tip number 7 is all about incorporating relaxation techniques into your routine.
Relaxation techniques.
Think meditation,
Okay.
deep breathing exercises,
Okay.
journaling, or progressive muscle relaxation.
I've tried meditation before,
Okay.
and it definitely helps quiet the mental chatter.
It does.
Have you found any relaxation techniques that work particularly well for you?
Personally, I find that a combination of deep breathing
Okay.
and progressive muscle relaxation
Yeah.
helps me unwind and release tension before bed.
Interesting.
It's like a mini massage for your mind and body.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's amazing how such simple techniques
I know.
can have such a profound impact on our sleep.
It's true.
But before we get too relaxed and drift off mid-podcast,
Okay.
there's one more sleep disruptor we need to tackle.
You're right. What is that?
The ever-present blue light.
Ah, yes, the blue light dilemma.
It's everywhere.
It is.
From our phones and tablets
Right?
to our computers and TVs.
Everywhere.
And we've already talked about how it suppresses melatonin production,
Yeah.
throwing our circadian rhythm off balance.
Right.
But is there any way to enjoy our screens without sacrificing our sleep?
Good question.
Do I need to ditch all my devices after sundown
You don't.
and become a digital hermit?
You don't have to go to such extremes.
Oh, okay, good.
There are practical solutions. Tip number 8 is all about mitigating the negative effects of blue light
Okay.
without disconnecting completely.
Okay, tell me more. I'm all ears.
The simplest strategy
Yeah.
is to create a digital curfew for yourself.
Okay.
Decide on a time,
Wow.
say an hour or two before bed,
Yeah.
when you'll power down your devices. And engage in screen-free activities.
So instead of scrolling through social media before bed,
Right.
I could read an actual book.
You could.
Like a physical book with pages.
Exactly.
How revolutionary.
It might feel strange at first,
Yeah.
but your brain and your sleep will thank you.
Okay.
You could also try using blue light filters on your devices
Okay.
or wearing blue light blocking glasses in the evening.
Those blue light blocking glasses, do they actually work?
They can be surprisingly effective,
Really?
especially if you can't avoid screen time in the evening.
Yeah.
They filter out the blue light wavelengths that
Mhm.
interfere with melatonin production,
Okay.
helping you maintain a healthy sleep-wake cycle.
Okay. I might need to invest in a pair of those. It's worth a shot if it means I can still enjoy my evening Netflix sessions
Yeah.
without sabotaging my sleep.
Right.
But speaking of light,
Okay.
we've been talking a lot about artificial light.
Right.
What about the good old-fashioned natural light?
Oh, yes. The power of sunlight tip number 9 is all about getting enough natural light during the day, particularly in the morning.
But why is morning sunlight so important?
It's all about that circadian rhythm again.
That circadian rhythm.
Exposure to natural light, especially in the morning,
Yeah.
helps reset your internal clock,
Uh-huh.
keeping it in sync with the natural day-night cycle.
Hmm.
And a well-synced circadian rhythm
Yeah.
leads to better sleep quality at night.
So instead of reaching for my phone first thing in the morning,
Right.
I should open my blinds and let the sunshine in.
You could.
Or even better, take a walk outside and soak up those morning rays.
Exactly. It's a simple but powerful way to jumpstart your day
Okay.
and optimize your sleep-wake cycle.
This is all making so much sense.
Ugh.
It's like we're piecing together a sleep hygiene puzzle,
Uh-huh.
one tip at a time.
One tip at a time.
But before we move on to the final piece,
Okay.
I want to highlight something important that we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The power of consistency.
Ah, yes, the golden rule of sleep hygiene.
So it's not enough to just implement these tips sporadically.
It's not.
Consistency is key.
Consistency is key.
So even if I have a late night or a restless night's sleep,
Right.
I shouldn't just throw in the towel
Oh.
and abandon my sleep schedule entirely.
Exactly. Think of it like training for a marathon.
Oh, okay.
You wouldn't just run one day
No.
and expect to be ready for race day.
Right.
It takes consistent effort and practice. The
Mm.
same goes for sleep hygiene.
So even small, consistent steps can lead to big improvements over time.
Absolutely.
I like that.
It is.
It feels much less daunting than trying to overhaul my entire life overnight.
It is a journey, not a sprint.
I like that.
And speaking of journeys,
Oh.
let's embark on the final leg of our sleep quest,
All right.
the realm of mental and emotional well-being.
Ah, yes, the inner landscape of our minds.
Exactly.
We've talked about relaxation techniques,
Mhm.
but what about those deeper-rooted issues that might be affecting our sleep?
Oh,
Like stress, anxiety,
right.
or even those lingering worries that keep us up at night.
That's where tip number 10 comes in.
All right.
Seeking professional help when needed.
Oh.
Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we need a little extra support
Yeah.
to address the underlying causes of our sleep problems.
It's okay to admit that we can't always solve everything on our own.
It is.
There's no shame in reaching out to a therapist or sleep specialist if we're struggling.
Absolutely. Just like we might see a doctor for a physical ailment.
Yeah.
We shouldn't hesitate to seek professional help for our mental and emotional well-being,
Right.
especially if it's affecting our sleep.
It's all about taking a holistic approach to sleep,
It is.
recognizing that our mental and emotional state plays just as important a role as our physical habits and environment.
Precisely. It's about treating ourselves with kindness and compassion.
Absolutely.
Understanding that improving our sleep is a process that requires patience,
Yeah.
self-awareness, and the willingness to seek support when needed.
Well said.
Thank you.
We've covered a lot of ground today,
We have.
from setting a consistent sleep schedule
Yeah.
to creating a relaxing bedtime routine, optimizing our sleep environment,
Right.
managing stress,
Yep.
being mindful of our diet,
Yes.
and harnessing the power of both natural and artificial light.
That's right.
And we've also highlighted the importance of consistency,
We have.
self-care, and seeking professional help when needed.
That's right.
It's like we've assembled a toolkit for better sleep,
We have.
filled with practical tips, insights, and strategies for tackling even the most stubborn sleep challenges.
Absolutely.
But before we drift off into dreamland,
Okay.
there's one final thought I want to leave you with.
All right. I'm listening.
Creating a personalized sleep sanctuary.
Ah, yes. A haven tailored to your unique needs and preferences.
What would your ideal sleep sanctuary look like?
Yeah. Think about it.
What colors, scents, and sounds would fill the space?
Yeah.
What rituals would you incorporate into your bedtime routine?
Right.
Think about it. A sleep haven where you can truly unwind, relax, and drift off into a peaceful slumber.
Imagine a space where you feel safe,
Yeah.
comfortable, and completely at ease, where the stresses of the day melt away
Mm.
and your mind and body are free to rest and recharge.
It's a beautiful vision, isn't it?
It is.
A reminder that creating a restful sleep environment is about more than just physical comfort. It's also about nurturing our mental and emotional well-being.
That's right.
And as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of sleep hygiene, let's carry that vision with us as we head into the night.
Let's do that.
Sweet dreams, sleep seekers.
Sweet dreams.
May you wake up feeling refreshed, energized, and ready to embrace the day ahead.
I hope so. It's amazing how just thinking about creating that perfect sleep space can already start to relax the mind.
It really is. But you know, as much as I love the idea of a sleep sanctuary, sometimes life gets in the way.
I know what you mean.
There are late nights at work,
Yeah.
social events,
Right.
kids who don't always sleep through the night.
It has.
It's not always possible to stick to a perfect sleep routine.
You're absolutely right. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns.
It is.
But that doesn't mean we should abandon all our sleep hygiene efforts when things get hectic.
So it's all about finding that balance, right?
Exactly.
Accepting that there will be times when we're off track,
Yeah.
but always coming back to those healthy habits whenever we can.
Precisely. It's about progress, not perfection.
Oh.
Maybe you can't stick to your exact sleep schedule every single night,
Right.
but you can still aim for consistency most of the time.
Yeah.
And even on those nights when you're up late,
Uh-huh.
you can still prioritize a relaxing bedtime routine
Okay.
and minimize screen time before bed.
That's reassuring to hear.
Good.
I think sometimes we get so caught up in striving for the ideal
Yeah.
that we forget about the importance of simply doing our best,
It's true.
even when our best isn't perfect.
Exactly, and that brings us back to a point we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The importance of self-compassion.
Self-compassion.
It's easy to get down on ourselves when we slip up or don't meet our own expectations.
Yeah.
But remember, sleep is a journey, not a destination.
I love that analogy.
That's a good one.
It takes the pressure off
Right.
and reminds us that it's okay to make mistakes along the way.
Exactly.
As long as we
Fair.
keep learning and growing, we're moving in the right direction.
Absolutely. And speaking of learning and growing,
Yep.
let's dive a little deeper into the science behind some of these sleep hygiene tips.
Okay, let's do it.
For example, we've talked about how caffeine can disrupt sleep.
Yeah, it does.
But have you ever wondered why that is?
Honestly, I've just always accepted it as a fact of life.
Okay.
Coffee keeps me awake, so I avoid it before bed.
Yeah.
But I'd love to understand the mechanisms behind it.
Well, it all comes down to a neurotransmitter called adenosine.
Adenosine.
As your day goes on,
Mm-hmm.
adenosine builds up in your brain, creating that feeling of sleepiness.
So that's why I get sleepy.
Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors,
It does.
essentially tricking your brain into feeling more alert.
So it's like caffeine is hitting the pause button on my sleepiness.
Exactly.
No wonder that late night cup of coffee can keep me up for hours.
And the effects of caffeine can linger in your system for several hours.
Oh, wow.
So even that afternoon cup
Mm-hmm.
might be interfering with your sleep later that night.
Wow, I never realized how long caffeine's effects could last.
Yeah, it's longer than people think.
I guess I need to be more mindful of my caffeine intake throughout the day, not just in the evening.
Exactly. It's about making informed choices
Okay.
that align with your sleep goals.
Right.
And speaking of informed choices, let's talk about another sleep disruptor that often gets overlooked.
What's that?
Alcohol.
Ah, yes, the double-edged sword of alcohol.
Uh-huh.
It might make you feel sleepy at first,
It does.
but then it often leads to restless nights and early morning wake-ups.
You've hit the nail on the head.
I have.
Alcohol initially depresses the central nervous system,
Okay.
which can lead to feelings of relaxation and drowsiness.
Right.
However, as your body metabolizes the alcohol, it actually has a stimulating effect, leading to fragmented sleep and those dreaded middle-of-the-night awakenings.
So while that glass of wine might help you unwind in the moment,
Yeah.
it could be sabotaging your sleep quality later on.
Precisely. And it's not just the quantity of alcohol that matters,
Okay.
but also the timing.
Timing.
Even a small amount of alcohol close to bedtime
Really?
can interfere with your sleep cycles.
I'm starting to realize that good sleep hygiene is all about making conscious decisions throughout the day,
That's right.
not just in the hours leading up to bedtime.
Yeah.
It's about paying attention to the cumulative effects of our choices,
It is.
from what we eat and drink
Mhm.
to how we manage our stress levels, and how much time we spend staring at screens.
You've got it. It's about adopting a holistic approach to sleep, recognizing that every aspect of our lives can influence our sleep quality.
And speaking of a holistic approach,
What?
let's circle back to the idea of creating a sleep sanctuary.
Our sleep sanctuary.
We talked about the physical aspects.
We did.
But what about the mental and emotional aspect?
That's such an important point.
It is.
A truly restful sleep environment
Okay.
goes beyond just the right temperature, darkness, and quiet.
Right.
It's also about cultivating a sense of peace and tranquility within ourselves.
Exactly. Imagine stepping into your sleep sanctuary,
Yeah.
not just leaving behind the physical clutter of the day,
Uh-huh.
but also shedding any lingering stress or anxieties.
It's like creating a mental and emotional sanctuary as well.
I like that.
A space where our minds can finally unwind and let go.
Precisely. And that's where mindfulness practices like meditation,
Yes.
deep breathing, and gratitude exercises can be incredibly powerful.
They are.
So instead of carrying the weight of the day into bed with us,
Right.
we can use these techniques to create a sense of calm and clarity,
Uh-huh.
allowing our minds and bodies to fully surrender to sleep.
You've captured the essence perfectly.
I think I have.
It's about shifting our focus
Yeah.
from the worries and anxieties that keep us awake to
Yeah.
the present moment.
Okay.
cultivating a sense of peace and acceptance that allows sleep to naturally unfold.
I love that.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's like we're creating a ripple effect of calmness, starting with our minds and bodies,
Yeah.
and extending outward to create a truly harmonious sleep environment.
Exactly. And as we continue to cultivate these mindful habits,
Yeah.
we'll find that they not only enhance our sleep,
Okay.
but also enrich our waking lives,
Interesting.
helping us navigate the challenges of daily life with greater ease and resilience.
It's fascinating how everything we've discussed ties back to this idea of interconnectedness.
Yeah.
How our physical habits, our mental and emotional state, and even our environment all work together to influence our sleep.
It's like a delicate ecosystem where each element plays a vital role in maintaining balance and harmony.
Exactly. And speaking of balance,
Okay.
we've explored a wide range of sleep hygiene tips,
We have.
from the practical to the more introspective.
Right.
But I think it's important to remember that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to sleep.
You're absolutely right. What works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
It's all about experimenting and finding what works best for you,
Yeah.
your individual needs, and your lifestyle.
So it's like creating a personalized sleep recipe,
Exactly.
combining different ingredients to achieve that perfect blend of restful slumber.
Maybe for you, it's all about establishing a rock-solid sleep schedule
Okay.
and optimizing your sleep environment.
Yeah.
For someone else, it might be about incorporating mindfulness practices and managing stress levels.
And for others, it might be a combination of both.
Absolutely.
It's all about being curious, experimenting, and paying attention to how your body responds to different strategies.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to adjust your approach as needed.
Okay.
Our sleep needs can change over time.
That's true.
So what worked for you in the past might not be as effective now.
That's a great reminder. It's all about staying adaptable and being in tune with our bodies.
It is.
But before we wrap up this sleep-filled conversation,
Okay.
I have one final question for you.
All right, shoot.
If you could give our listeners one piece of advice,
Okay.
one golden nugget of wisdom to take away from this deep dive, what would it be?
That's a great question.
It is.
I think the most important thing to remember is that good sleep is not a luxury. It's a necessity.
It's true.
It's the foundation for good health, well-being, and a fulfilling life.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
And it's a powerful reminder that prioritizing sleep is not selfish.
No, it's not.
It's an act of self-care that benefits not only ourselves, but also those around us.
Exactly. When we're well rested, we're better equipped to handle stress. Right.
Make sound decisions,
Yeah.
connect with others,
Yeah.
and simply enjoy life to the fullest.
Well said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the fascinating world of sleep hygiene.
We have.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and practical tips to help you on your journey toward better sleep.
I hope so too.
Remember, it's a journey, not a race.
That's right.
Be patient with yourself. Experiment with different strategies.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to seek support when needed.
Right.
And most importantly, make sleep a priority.
Yes.
Your mind, body, and spirit will thank you for it. Sweet dreams, sleep seekers.
Sweet dreams.